We're the hallway cops. People were gonna arrest him and stuff.
So this year when I was putting movies in the list to be randomly selected, I decided that box sets would also be included. Each film in the set would get a number, and whichever number got picked, the full set would be included. That is, if the set was a trilogy or smaller. I mean, I'm not about to go through like a 15 movie box set or something for this series. However, the Criterion set for Police Story 1 and 2 was selected, so I finally got to watch these Jackie Chan Hong Kong classics, and I had a total blast with them. I've been interested in the Police Story movies ever since I picked up Police Story Lockdown on launch and decided not to watch it when I found out there's a whole set of Police Story movies to watch. I later found out that Lockdown isn't really a part of that series despite the title. I still haven't watched it yet, and it wasn't included in the drawing because I want to watch all the other Police Story movies first, and I don't have any of the other ones besides these three. Even though it's not connected, I still want to see them first if that makes sense. The first Police Story is considered one of Jacki's greatest films, which can be included with the second. When it comes to reputation, follows Jackie Chan's character, Chen Kwok-Hung. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. A detective involved in a sting operation to bring down a drug lord. After the lord's arrest while waiting on trial, Chan is put on bodyguard duty to protect Selena, the key witness. When Selena goes missing, the drug lord is let go and Chan is framed for murder. To clear his name and to put the lord behind bars, he must find Selena. It's a pretty solid police detective story, but what it does is really open up the waters for some crazy, ridiculous, and the best way possible stunts and action pieces. Some of the stunt work is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, the opening of a film with cars just plowing through this shanty town is pure mayhem done perfectly. The fight choreography is great and feels like it packs a punch. It's quick and fast, but also very smooth. Some actors take some major bumps that at multiple times I was going, oof, that's rough. It's this dedication to the action that really makes this film stand out. The ending set piece being another massive scene that I've seen prior to watching this film because of how iconic it is. Everything just looks so great because it's all done for real. The camera isn't shaky or close up. It's shot wide to capture everything that's happening on screen. It's not quick cutting to every hit. It shows you every real bump and at times even putting it in slow motion to show you exactly what's going on. It's one of those films that action fans and film nerds can get behind because of the orchestra of stunts. It's wickedly impressive and methodically shown. Without a doubt, there is a lot of injuries on set, which I hate to hear. Some are showcased during the credits, which is like a loop of outtakes and the making of. This is a film that I would love to watch a true making of. This is something that wouldn't fly by today's standards, but that's partially why this film will stand the test of time. I don't want people to get hurt while making a film, however, there is nothing but appreciation for it when it comes to the end product. These people put themselves on the line to make some action set pieces that I will remember for the rest of my life. Chan is a fun character to follow, and Jacki has so much charisma that it makes him a perfect lead for a film like this. When it comes to the story though, it's a pretty standard detective get the bad guy kind of story. There's really no twists or turns throughout the film to throw you off the trail. The story again just feels like it's here more for the setup of the action pieces, but by no means is it bad either. It will keep you engaged during the cooldown moments thanks to Jackie Chan being such a great lead, and there's a lot of humor throughout the movie that kept me chuckling. This is pretty much an action comedy. There's moments where I was busting out with laughter, but for every laugh, there seemed like there might have been a punchline that fell a little flat. There's a scene in particular that I really hated where Chan is walking and steps in cow poop and starts to moonwalk basically to get the poop off his shoes. However, the courtroom scene generally had me laughing out loud. Another weak point in the story is May being Jacki's girlfriend. There's not much setup or development and it really felt shoehorned in here. Still though, I really enjoyed a lot of the plot beats despite not being anything new. I just can't get over how amazing these action set pieces were here. The nice 80s score and sound effects were fun, but there's some serious dubbing issues here as well. Clearly there's a lot of ADR and it's very noticeable throughout most of the film. Still though, I really loved it and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I strongly recommend it. Now onward to Police Story 2, released in 1988, 3 years after Police Story, and again, directed and starring Jackie Chan. The sequel follows Detective Chan shortly after the events of Police Story 1. Due to the massive amount of damage caused by Chan and how the police had to pay for his lone wolf actions, he's demoted down to being a traffic cop. Shortly after, he finds out the drug lord from the first film has been released from prison due to his failing health. That anger boils inside of him to the point that he quits being a cop. One night while shopping at the mall with his girlfriend May, a bomb threat gets called in and the local cops recruit Jacki to help clear the building. With everyone out, the building does explode, leading to the cops wanting Chen to reinstate. After dropping May off at her apartment, he is confronted once again by the drug lord's lackeys, threatening revenge against him and May. However, while all this is happening, a bombing cell blackmails wealthy realtors for money to stop them from blowing up their commercial retails. Due to Chan's constant obsession with his work, he and May begin experiencing relationship issues that are exacerbated from her being in danger thanks to the retaliation. There's a lot going on in terms of the plot here, and while I think the revenge plot is really underdeveloped and leads to nowhere, the rest here is an improvement on the first. For one, there's a lot more character development for most of the cast. The film really focused on Chan, Uncle Bill, and May, adding more dimensions to their characters and really showcasing Chan's lone wolf aspect. It builds his temper more and shows us how much more willing he is to focus on his work rather than his loved ones. The relationship between May and Chan is also much more developed here, where it doesn't feel as shoehorned in. There feels like there's more history between them, and they actually feel like a couple going through some major issues, rather than the first where it just felt completely pointless. Honestly, it would have served the film better just to remove the whole revenge plot. There's enough between Chan, May, and the blackmail bombers that could have been explored more without cutting to a subplot that goes absolutely nowhere. This time around, the humor landed a lot more for me than the first. It's definitely not as comedy oriented as the first film, but I just found myself laughing at this one a lot more. Again though, the story, while for the most part is an improvement, it's really here to serve the action set pieces, which once again are amazing. There's a couple of large explosions, but there's not really as many massive set pieces quite like the first film. However, the film trades that off with having a lot more hand-to-hand combat that feels like it hits a lot harder. Again, there was multiple moments where I was cringing at some of the bumps the actors took. There's just multiple scenes that are just incredibly well done when it comes to the choreography. Again, the end credits show you a lot of the outtakes, and there's some gnarly injuries in this one for sure. But again, its showcases are some action set pieces that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Again, while the 80s score and sound effects are fun, there's a lot of really bad dubbing or ADR throughout the film. There's a character that's a deaf mute, and the ADR and the noises they make are atrocious to say the least. To me, there's some improvements to the sequel that surpasses the original, but the original presents some more iconic moments. Both films are going to be action staples for me. Without a doubt, if you're a fan of action movies, these are must-watches and easy recommendations. The transfer from Criterion looks absolutely beautiful. These are those kinds of movies though that really showcase a genre, and a type of filmmaking that both the audience and film nerds alike can admire and appreciate. If you're a fan of Jacki and you haven't watched these, drop whatever you're doing and give them a watch, and I'm giving Police Story 2 an 8 out of 10. I understand that I've praised both of these films a lot, to which an 8 out of 10 for both of them might seem a little low for how much I love these films, but they do suffer from some technical problems. But enjoyability wise, for me, they're about as perfect as they can come, and everything I would want from a detective action comedy film. I love these movies, check them out.